Welcome guys sa ating synchronous lecture for today. So, our topic for today will be about transcendental functions. So, ano ba yung transcendental function and how do you apply derivative to this kind of functions? Okay? So, before anything else, since we have not met o hindi tayo nagkameron ng meeting last Tuesday due to power interruption and difficulty in internet access on some areas, na-move yung supposedly scheduled quiz natin, no? So, I made it na next week na lang after ng undas para you have ample time to prepare dun sa quiz natin. So, kaya tinawag siyang long quiz, which will be on November 3, 2020. So, that will be Tuesday. Then, yung time natin will be the same as yung synchronous lecture time natin. Okay? Yung scope for this long quiz will be as follows. So, yung first one is yung implicit differentiation, then equations of tangent and normal line, and then yung last dun is yung derivative of trigonometric and inverse trigonometric functions. So, among these three, so siguro yung pinaka-last na scope na nandyan yung hindi pa kayo familiar, no? So, for today, ibig sabihin ito yung isa sa topic na i-discuss natin. Okay? So, itong first two are already have been discussed on the previous lesson. Then, for today, we will try to finish this one so that you will know what to do when dealing with this kind of functions. Okay? Especially on the quiz on Tuesday. Okay? So, at the end of this lesson, so hopefully, we are able to state and find derivatives of a transcendental function and of course find the derivative ng mga transcendental function natin. So ano nga ba yung tinatawag natin transcendental functions? Okay? So transcendental functions are functions that are not algebraic. Okay? So meaning to say, yung mga previous lessons natin from midterm na derivative yung ginagawa natin, puro siya algebraic, no? So, transcendental function is classified into four different types, no? So, nakalagay dito. So, meron tayong transcendental function na tawag ng trigonometric functions, inverse trigonometric functions, logarithmic functions, and exponential functions. Okay? Okay, so for today, we will cover yung first two, which is yung trigonometric functions and inverse trigonometric functions. Okay, then for next week, as your asynchronous lecture, this will be our topic: logarithmic and exponential functions. Okay, so let us first go to the derivative of trigonometric functions. Okay, so as the same as the algebraic functions, there are already formulas involved in solving trigonometric functions. Okay? So, pinaka-aim nyo lang is to be aware or be knowledgeable enough dun sa value ng derivative ng given function natin. Okay? So, alam nyo naman sa pag sinabing trigonometric functions, yun yung functions na encounter natin when dealing with triangles, no? Specifically right triangles, di ba? Or basta triangles, no? So, dito, nakalagay dito, we have 6 different formulas. So, I will no longer demonstrate kung paano nakuha yan kasi it will be a waste of time pa siguro kasi at the end, pabalik tayo, mag-stick tayo dito sa specific values na nakalagay dito, no? So, yung pagkuha, kung gusto nyo i-check, you can check it online kung paano na-derive, kung bakit naging cosine yung value, halimbawa nung sa sine. Pero basically, ang ginawa dyan is yung three-step rule na ginagawa natin before. Okay? So, yung nag-add tayo ng delta x minus yung original function all over delta x. Okay? So, we have six formulas for derivative ng trigonometric function. So, yung first one is derivative daw ng sine is cosine. Okay? Derivative of cosine is negative sine. Derivative of tangent is secant squared x. Derivative of cosecant x is negative cosecant x cotangent x. Derivative of secant x is secant x tangent x. And last derivative of cotangent is negative cosecant squared x. Okay? So, upon sa examples natin later on, we can always go back dito sa figure na to o dito sa table na to, formulas na to, para i-verify kung tama ba yung derivative na ginagawa natin. Okay? So, to better understand how to solve this kind of functions, let us first try our example. So, we have if y is equals to sine 3x raised to 5, find y prime. Okay? Ibig sabihin yung derivative of y in terms of x. Okay? So, when dealing with this kind of problem, so lahat ng mga techniques and formulas na in-apply natin sa uh, algebraic functions, syempre, applicable din siya dun sa trigonometric functions. So, ibig sabihin, yung derivative ng constant, ng power rule, um, yung quotient rule, yung multiplication rule. So, any formulas that we have already discussed will be also applied here. Okay? So, chain rule, especially chain rule. Okay? So, rewrite natin yung given. So, we have y is equals to sine 3x to the fifth. Okay? So, to better simplify this given, let us try to let u, okay, as yung 3x raised to 5. Okay? So, kung nilet natin as u yung value na yun, we will have now as our equation na y is equals to sine u. Okay? So, nakita natin sine u. So, naka-direct na siya, no? So, pinapanap natin pag kinuha mo yung derivative ng y, sine u. So, pag binalikan natin yung formula, meron tayong direct derivative ng sine. So, sin x lang dito. Pero, kung x to, hindi x lang to. So, kung u yun, u yung ilalagay mo dito, no? Okay? So, ibig sabihin, derivative niyan will be y prime equals to sine u. Pero yung u natin is not yung value na hinanap natin. Sorry. So, this should be not sine, no? So, dapat to is, sorry. This should be cosine. Okay? So, cosine of u. And then, since hindi pa na kaya in terms of x, so dito kasi dapat mangyayari yan. Dapat ito, nawalan siya dito ng kadugtong kasi naka in terms of x na yung variable natin na nasa loob ng cosine. So dito, naka-u pa siya. So dapat kunin din natin yung derivative ng u. So as chain rule, no? So dapat multiply natin to ng du over dx. Okay? Kasi itong ginawa natin to, itong part na to is in terms pa ng dy over du. Ayan, pinapahanap sa atin is dy over dx. Okay? Which is yung y prime. Okay? Kailangan natin yung du over dx. So, kailangan derive natin to. Itong u natin dito, no? Itong u. So, derive natin. So, u prime will be 3 times 5x raised to 4. Okay? Simplify, we have 15x to the 4th. So, now we have cosine u. And then, okay, substitute natin 15x to the 4th So, dito sa balikan natin 'to dito 'no. So, dito nag-apply tayo ng power rule. So, nangyari yung x dito is a um, single variable lang 'no. So, pero paano kung halimbawa polynomial siya? So, kung polynomial halimbawa 'tong nasa loob niya, dapat i-derive mo pa din siya. So, hindi ko lang nilagay kasi derivative of x is already 1. So, it will be the same lang 'no. Pero again, kapag naging polynomial siya, it will be a different case. Okay? Then, we simplify. So, we have y prime is equals to 15 x to the fourth cosine u. Then, gagawin lang natin is to substitute back yung original natin value ng u. Okay? So, y prime is equals to 15 x to the fourth cosine of 3x to the fifth. Okay? So, this term o yung value na to cannot be multiplied dito sa nasa labas, no? Kasi that is the angle na nakapaloob doon sa cosine, no? So, be very careful about that kasi minsan nalilito tayo pag hindi natin nalagyan ng tamang parenthesis. Baka mamaya bigla natin multiply dito sa uh, coefficient natin dito, no? Okay? So, I guess this is the final form. So, this answer will be our derivative for the given function. Okay? Okay. Next, so we have our second example. So we have if y is equals to cosine squared 1 over 4 x cubed is equals find y prime. Okay? So, kung medyo complicated yung itsura ng mismong function natin, all you have to do is to make it simpler, no? So, you can always let u, no, dun sa given natin para mas simplify lang natin, no? So, let's try. So, we have it yung given natin, y is equals to cosine squared. So, lagyan natin parenthesis, no? Para hindi nakakalita. Okay? Then, yung cosine squared, pwede natin yung i-rewrite, no? Na cosine 1/4 x cubed as nasa labas siya naka-squared. Okay? So, parang sinasabi natin na ng baba. Cosine squared x. So, equals yan sa cosine x tapos naka-squared siya doon. Okay? So, if doubtful, if that is equal, you can check it sa calc, no? So, input ka ng value ng cosine squared x tsaka cosine x. Tapos nasa squared yung labas. Okay? So, going back to sa given natin, so we can let u is equals to 1/4 x cubed. Then, we have now y is equals to cosine of u squared. Okay? So, diba kung comparing this one, mas simpler to kumpara mo dito. So, mas makakapag-focus ko pag-derive nito. Okay? And so, y prime will be derivative of power. So, 2 cosine of u. Then, derivative ng cosine is negative sine u. Then, si sine u is dy du pa lang siya. So, kailangan kunin natin yung derivative ng du over dx. Okay? Again, this term is ano pa lang siya, no? So, in terms pa siya ng dy over du. So, we're applying chain rule para di tayo malita, no? So, dito, balikan natin dito. So, ang du over dx natin dito, o yung u prime natin, will be 1/4 times 3 x squared. Okay, so, simplify. So, 3/4 squared. So, ito yung value sa substitute natin dito sa given na to, no? So, itong value nito, ito yung du over dx natin. Okay? So, simplify natin. Y prime is equals to 2 cosine u. Then, negative sine u. Du over dx is 3/4 x squared. Okay? Then, simplify. So, what we can do is, so negative 2. So, sine u, cosine u, tapos naka-multiply siya sa 3/4 x squared. So, hindi ko muna siya sinimplify fully kasi gusto ko ipakita sa inyo yung ginagawa kapag dealing with trigonometric functions. Okay? So, if you are not familiar with it, sa pag pinag-usapan natin trigonometric function, mayroon siyang mga relationship with the other functions. Okay? So, ano yung tinatawag nating relationship na yun? Meron tayong tinatawag na trigonometric identities. Okay? So, tingnan mo natin itong second slide para explain ko lang kung ano yung itsura ng trigonometric identities. So, itong trigonometric identities na to, so ito yung relationship ng bawat trigonometric function natin with other trigonometric function. Okay? So, meron tayong natawag na reciprocal identities, Pythagorean identities, sum and different identities, double angle identities, and half angle identities. Okay? So, for our sake ngayon, you don't have to memorize this one, pero you have to be knowledgeable enough kung ano yung i-apply mo. No? Kasi halimbawa may given time problems, much better na i-simplify mo siya using trigonometric identities muna before getting the derivative. No? So dito meron tayong example regarding using yung identities before solving it. Okay? Para makita niyo yung comparison ng solution. Okay? Para balikan natin yung nakuha natin. So dito meron ka makikitang term na to. 2 sin u tsaka cosine u. Okay? So ginanong ko yung form niya. No? So di ba ganito siya dati? Sabihin niyo, sir, cosine yung nauna dito, ba't napunta din yung cosine? So regardless, since multiplication yung ginawa natin. So okay lang yan. No? So the same yan. So pag to, chinek natin, 2 sin u, cosine u. Pag chinek natin dito, tingnan nyo yung sa double angle identities. Mayroon tayong 2 sin x cosine x. No? Pag meron ka daw term na ganun, pwede mo siyang i-represent as sin 2x or itong 2 tangent x over 1 plus tangent squared x. Okay? So, depende sa situation nyo. Pero ang goal natin is to simplify yung final answer natin. So, to simplify yung final answer ang goal natin, kung tangent ang kukunin natin, tapos sa property natin dito, di ba mas magiging siyang complicated, no? Or depende kung halimbawa multiple choice question siya, tapos nakatangent yung choices, di, no, the only way na makukuha mo yung tamang sagot is to use yung tangent. Pero dito, sinasabi na equal din siya sa sin 2x. Okay? Ibig sabihin, kung di ba yung x value nito, yung angle niya, mangyayari, i-double niya dito. Tapos magigilang siyang sin. Okay? So meaning, dito, and 2 sin u cosine u, magiging negative sin 2u. Okay? So times 3/4 x squared. Okay? Okay? So, now we can now simplify, no? So, negative 3/4 x squared, then sine 2u. So, 2 times yung value ng u natin. So, ang u natin is 1/4 x cubed. So, ito pwede natin simplify. Magiging itong 1/2. So, yung final answer natin will be negative 3/4 x squared sine ng 1/2 x cube. Okay? So, yan na yung simplest form niya. And that is our derivative for that given problem. Okay? Okay? So, just bear in mind na itong trigonometric identities are always available na tingnan kung gusto nating i-convert o i-simplify yung given trigonometric functions natin into a much simpler form. Okay? So, kasi minsan may mga nangyayaring problems na nagkakameron ng two or more trigonometric functions involved, and gusto natin doon sa final answer natin maging one trigonometric function lang siya kung possible, no? Okay, so let us try this example in order to showcase yung benefit nung knowing yung trigonometric identity ng given functions natin. Okay, so let's say ito, meron tayong if y is equals to cosine to the fourth x minus sine to the fourth x, find y prime. Okay, so just rewriting it, so cosine 4x minus sine 4x. So what we can do is to treat it separately, no? So ito magiging y is equals to cosine x to the fourth minus sine x to the fourth. Okay? Then, tulad naman nung ginagawa natin sa algebraic functions, pwede tayong mag-derivative ng term by term. No? So, y prime is equals to 4, then cosine of x, then 3. Then, anong derivative ng cosine of x? Siya ay negative sine x. Derivative ng x is 1 minus, so ito na yung sa first term natin. Okay? First term minus 4 sine x cube times the derivative ng cosine ng sine is cosine x, and the derivative ng cosine ng x is 1. Okay? So, ito yung magiging derivative ng term 2 natin. So, we just simplify. So, we have negative 4 cosine x cube sine x minus 4 sine x cube cosine x. Okay? Then simplify, we can factor out yung negative 4 tsaka sine x and cosine x sa both term. Okay? So this will be cosine squared x, okay, plus sine squared x. Okay? So check natin. Paano natin masisimplify itong given natin? So kung tutusin, kung available sa multiple choice question, itong choice na to, this can be our final answer. Pero as I can see it, pwede natin i-apply yung trigonometric identity ng twice. Okay? So yung first one natin, try kong i-apply is dito sa nasa labas natin. No? So I'll change the color. So this one. No? So yung kanina, 2 sine x cosine x, di ba? Yung sa problem natin kanina. Okay? 2 sine u cosine u yung nandito. Para maging sine 2u. Pero yung nandito natin is 4 sine x cosine x. So, what now? Diba, itong term na to, yung function na yan, pwede maging negative 2 times 2 sine x cosine x. So, parang pinactor out mo yung 2. So, ibig sabihin, magkakameron ka na nung term na gusto natin, no? Which is itong term na to. Okay? Yung 2 sine x cosine x na equal siya sa sine 2x. So, negative 2 times sine 2x. Okay? So, yun na yung first natin na transformation ng identity. Then, yung next one is ito. Cosine squared x plus sine squared x. So, when we try to check dito, tingnan nyo. So, tingnan nyo dito sa Pythagorean identities. We have, pag may sine squared x plus cosine squared x tayo, equals daw yan sa 1. Okay? So, dito, meron tayong cosine squared x plus sine squared x. So, pag inuna ko yung sine squared x dito, since positive yung to, plus cosine squared x, so the same na siya nito, no? So, ibig sabihin, that is equals to 1. So, substituting that value, so times 1. So, pag simplify natin ngayon, this will be y prime is equals to negative 2 sine 2x. This will be our final answer. Okay? So, final answer kasi nasa simplest form siya dahil nakaisang trigonometric function lang yung answer natin. Okay? So, itong ginawa natin, kinuha muna natin yung individual derivative niya before we convert it or transform it using trigonometric identities. Ngayon, halimbawa, try natin yung same example, but before deriving it, gagawin natin is ita-transform na muna natin siya by using yung identities natin. Okay? So, ano to? So, rewrite ko lang ulit. So, we have y equals to cosine 4x minus sine 4x. So, ano yung napapansin nyo dito? So, cosine x to the fourth minus sine x to the fourth. Okay? So, yung may mga ganito tayong problem before sa algebraic function, ginagawa natin, pwede natin factor out yan, di ba? So, ito is factorable ng cosine x plus, okay? So, factorable cosine squared x minus sine squared x multiplied by cosine squared x plus sine squared x. Okay? So, parang parehas na halimbawa nung ng x squared minus 4. Di ba? Factorable yan by x minus 2 tsaka x plus 2. So, the same concept goes with this one. No? So, pag naging ganito na siya, anong makikita natin? So, yung first natin, cosine squared x minus sine squared x. So, check natin yung mga identities kung meron tayong makikita. No? Then, when we go dito sa double angle identities, then under cosine 2x, meron tayong cosine squared x minus sine squared x. So, meaning equal siya sa cosine 2x. Okay? So, itong cosine 2x. Then, yung second na term natin, cosine squared x plus sine squared x. So, the same yan nung kanina, no? So, na-equal siya sa 1. So, ibig sabihin yung magiging function natin yan will be y is equals to cosine 2x. So, mas simple siya, no? Ngayon, pag kinuha natin, let natin na u is equals to 2x. So, ang y natin ngayon will be cosine of u. So, yan na mas simple. So, ngayon, pag nirive natin, so y prime is equals to cosine, cosine ng derivative ng cosine ng u dun sa formula natin kanina is negative sine u, then yung du over dx natin. Okay? So, y prime is equals to negative sine. Value ng u natin is 2x. Then, du dx natin, so, ang u prime natin is 2. Okay? So, that will be 2. So, yung final answer natin is negative 2 sine 2x. Okay? So, this will be our final answer. So, when we try to compare dun sa kanina, same ba yung answer? Yes, no? Negative 2 sine 2x. So, negative 2 sine 2x. So, basically, depende sa knowledge, sa practice nyo, kung alin yung mas convenient na method sa inyo. No? But both method works. Okay? As long as you know how to get the right identity to use. Okay? So, paano nyo malalaman kung tama yung ginagawa nyo? Practice. No? So, always practice, practice, practice. Okay? So, as a final example for trigonometric functions, so try natin mag-implicit differentiation no, using yung trigonometric function. So, sinabi ko implicit differentiation kasi in terms of x and y, yung ating um, angle nung trigonometric function. No? So, ibig sabihin, i-derive natin siya in terms of x tsaka in terms of y. Okay? So, let's write lang yung problem. So, we have so y is equals to tangent of x plus y. Okay? So let us first look kung ano yung derivative ng tangent based on sa formula natin. Ha? So based sa formula natin, ang derivative ng tangent is secant squared x. No? So yung x na yun is kung ano man yung nasa loob ng tangent. Okay? So ibig sabihin, so dito, y prime is equals to secant squared x plus y. Okay? So, bago natin derive, i-let muna natin yun no, para hindi tayo nalilito. So, let u is equals to x plus y. Then, so y is equals to tangent of u. So, y prime natin will be secant squared u times du over dx. So, pag kinuha natin yung du over dx natin, so yung u prime natin will be, so derivative of x is 1, derivative of y is y prime. Okay? So remember, di ba pag implicit, once nagde-differentiate tayo ng other variables than x, lagi siyang may kaakibat na variable prime. Okay? So for this case, yung y prime. Okay? So substitute natin. So we have y prime equals to secant squared u times 1 plus y prime. Okay? Next, we try to distribute. So y prime is equals to secant squared u plus secant squared u times y prime. Okay? Then we combine yung like terms natin. So yung y prime, itong term na to, we can transpose this one dun sa left side of the equation natin kasi may y prime din siya, no? So y prime minus secant squared u y prime is equals to secant squared u. Okay? Then factor out natin yung y prime. So we have 1 minus secant squared u is equals to secant squared u. Okay? So, ang kailangan lang natin is yung y prime. So, divide natin both side by 1 minus secant squared u. So, 1 minus secant squared u. Cancel out to. So, we have y prime is equals to secant squared u all over 1 minus secant squared u. So, now, let's try to check kung meron tayong pwedeng magamit dun sa identity natin. No? So, secant squared u tsaka 1 minus secant squared u. So, yung secant squared u, so ang secant nakalagay dito, equal siya sa 1 over cosine. No? Then, yung 1 minus secant squared natin, kung makita nyo, walang direct. Pero pwede tayo makuha itong relationship na to. So, 1 plus tangent squared x. No? So, try natin kunin yun, no? Yung 1, itong ito. 1 plus tangent squared x equals to secant squared x. So, di ba pag halimbawa tinranspose ko yung secant dito sa left side, and kinuha ko yung so sa right side yung tangent, magkakameron tayo ng value na 1 minus secant squared x is equals to negative tangent squared x. Okay? Which is, yung 1 minus secant squared x, ito yung nasa, nasaan? Ito yung nandito sa denominator natin, no? So, ito. So, equals daw siya sa negative tangent. So, meaning, pwede natin convert parehas. So, yung numerator, second, yung trigonometric identity natin sa kanya. So, pwede natin siyang gawing 1 over cosine squared u. Okay? Yung 1 minus second squared u, pwede siya maging negative tangent squared u. Okay? Then, as we all know, ang tangent is equal sa sine over cosine, di ba? So, this can be sine squared u over cosine squared u. So, pag finlip natin yung denominator, magka-cancel out yung cosine squared u. So, what we left with is 1 over sine squared u. Then, 1 over sine squared u is, don't forget the negative sign, is negative cosecant squared u. Okay? Okay. Tapos, cosecant squared u. So, check ulit natin sa trigonometric. So, yung cosecant squared u natin, ito, cosecant squared x is equals to 1 plus cotangent squared x. So, depende sa choices again. Kung halimbawa wala yan sa choices, so kailangan mong i-derive pa ulit. So, this will be 1 plus cotangent squared x. U pala. Okay. So, u. And then, cotangent is the reverse of tangent. Okay. So, let me try to reduce lang yung size nito. Okay. So, magiging siyang y prime equals to 1 plus cotangent squared u is, kung ang tangent is sine over cosine, so magiging siyang cosine squared, um, inverse siya ng tangent. So, 1 over tangent squared u. Okay? So, don't forget yung negative sign again. So, may negative tayo dito kanina. Okay? So, makita mo yung equation mo, naka-tangent squared u ka. Ano ba yung value ng u? So, balik natin. Negative 1 plus 1 over tangent. Yung u natin is dito, x plus y siya, no? As x plus y. So, x plus y. Okay? Then, when we look at the original problem, so naka-squared to, don't forget, y is equal sa tangent x plus y. E tangent x plus y to na naka-squared lang. So, ibig sabihin, yung denominator natin can be negative 1 plus 1 over y squared. Okay? Then when we try to simplify, so y prime will be negative. So this will be y squared plus 1, or y prime is equals to negative y squared minus 1 all over y squared. Okay? So that will be our final answer. Again, it will depend kung ano yung available choices sa multiple choice nyo. No? Kung meron man. Kung wala, edi at least verify sa professor o sa akin kung halimbawa ako nagbigay, no? Kung anong final answer yung hinihingi, no? Say, as you have already know naman dun sa mga previous activities natin. When I say na almost uh, equal naman yung final answer niya or iba lang siya ng form, ina-accept ko naman yung value na as long as tama yung solution. Okay? So that's it for trigonometric function. So let us now go to derivative of inverse trigonometric function. So kung may formula in trigonometric function, we also have formula for inverse trigonometric function. So yan naman yung form niya. Okay? So as can be seen, so i-check nyo na lang. So makikita nyo sa ibang textbook, arc sine yung tawag sa kanya. Pero minsan siya ay sine, uh, siya ay sine raised to negative 1. Okay? So yung ibig sabihin ng arc, yung inverse, no? Tangent, negative 1. Kaya sinabing inverse trigonometric, no? Cosine, negative 1. Cotangent, negative 1. Tsaka cosecant, negative 1. Okay? So, just review kung ano itong nakalagay na formula dito. Then let us just follow kung ano yung derivative na nakalagay sa kanya. No? So, let us try sa example. So, we have if beta is equals to arctangent 1/2 t cubed, find beta prime. Okay? So, arctangent. Arctangent kailangan natin. So, ito yung kailangan natin. No? So, ang derivative doon na makukuha natin kapag u prime over 1 plus u squared. Okay? So, ang tangent, ang derivative ng equals sa u prime. So, ibig sabihin du over dx over 1 plus u squared. Okay? So, ito lang ibang form. Okay? So, what we have to do now is just to identify kung ano yung mga values nung nasa formulang hinahanap niya, no? So, dito, halimbawa dito, tangent, arc tangent, u. So, dito, lilet natin na u si 1/2 t cube, no? Then, pag nakuha natin yung derivative ni u prime, yun yung numerator, kasi yung denominator niya is 1 plus kung ano yung u natin. Okay? So, mas madali lang siya. So, parang plug in lang siya. So, u natin is equals to 1/2 t cube. So, kunin natin yung du over dx niya o yung u prime natin. So, it will be 1/2 times 3 t squared. So, it will be 3 halves ng t squared. Okay, so yan yung u prime natin. So, following yung formula natin para makuha natin yung beta prime. Okay, beta prime will now be equals sa u prime all over 1 plus u squared. So, equals yan sa 3 halves t squared all over 1 plus yung u natin is 1/2 t cube squared. Okay, and simplify. We have 3 halves t squared over 1 plus 1/4 t raised to 6. Okay? Then, combine natin yung numerator natin. We have 4 plus t raised to 6 t to the 6. And then, we try to simplify. So, we have 3 halves t squared times yung reciprocal ng denominator is 4 all over 4 plus t to the 6. So, cancel out natin to. This will be 2. So, beta prime is equals to 4 t to the 6. 4 plus t to the 6. Okay, so this will be 6 t squared all over 4 plus t to the 6. Okay, so that will be our final answer for this one. So parang nangyari plug and play. Okay? So alam mo yung formula ng kailangan mo, then sunod mo lang yung formula. Okay? Another one, let's try. We have if y is equals to arctangent x over a plus arctangent a over x, find y prime. So nagkataon arctangent ulit itong nakuha ko, no? So ibig sabihin yan ulit, arctangent prime, derivative niyan is u prime over 1 plus u squared. Okay? Just me. So tingnan natin sa dalawa. Itong 1, itong 2. Okay? So sawan muna tayo. So arctangent x over a. So ang u natin will be x over a. Ang u prime niyan is 1 over a. Okay? So following yung format natin for arctangent. So yung derivative ng una natin will be u prime natin is 1 over a all over 1 plus x over a squared. Okay? Simplify 1 over a over ito pag simplify will be a squared plus x squared all over a squared, and further simplify natin. So this will be 1 over a times a squared all over a squared plus x squared. So cancel out yung isang a. So this is a over a squared plus x squared. Okay? So ito yung derivative ng first term natin, no? Okay? How about yung second term? So yung second term natin is, ang u naman niya is a over x. So u prime natin dito will be, so derivative of quotient. Okay? O pwede gawin mo is yung u mo gawin mong a times x raised to negative 1. So yung derivative niya will be negative 1 a x negative 2 or equals sa negative a over x squared. Okay? So ang y prime natin for this one will be yung u prime na negative a over x squared all over 1 plus a over x squared. Okay? Then simplify, we have a over x squared all over, this will be x squared plus a squared. Okay? Then this will be negative a x squared. Reciprocate natin yung denominator. Squared x squared plus a squared. So cancel out to. So yung second natin, y prime is equals to negative a over x squared plus a squared. Okay? So combine natin para sa final derivative natin, no? So ngayon, mangyayari is yung y prime natin, no? So this will be a over a squared plus x squared minus a over x squared plus a squared. So papansin nyo, sa denominator nag-interchange lang yung arrangement ng term natin, pero the same siya, no? So parang 1 minus 1 is equals to 0. So meaning, ang derivative natin for this given problem is 0. Okay? So, that's it So, yun lang yan. So, sabihin nyo, ba't puro tangent yung ginamit ko, no? So, okay, sige, dagdagan natin ng isa. Kasi, that is my final example. I'll try to add another one. Ni-check kung ano yung pwede kong ilagay. So, sige, try natin. Number 3. If y is equals to 2, arc sine square root of x over 2, okay, find y prime. Okay. So, yung given natin is y is equals to 2 arc sine square root of x over 2. Okay. So, pag-check natin, ang arc sine, ano bang formula lang sa arc sine? Arc sine natin, ang formula is ito. So, u prime over square root of 1 minus u squared. Okay. So, pag arc sine daw, so sa u prime all over square root of 1 minus u squared. Okay. Okay. So, let's proceed. So, anong left natin dito ng y? So, left natin u is equals to square root of x over 2 or x over 2 raised to 1 half. Okay? So, ang u prime natin dyan will be 1 half x over 2. So, 1 half minus 1 is negative 1 half. And derivative nung nasa loob niya, so 1 half. Okay? So, u prime will be 1/4 times 1 over x over 2, 1 half. Okay? So, kailangan natin tong form na to. So, y prime equals to u prime over square root of 1 minus u squared. So, substitute na lang tayo. So, 1/4 times 1 over x over 2, 1 half, all over square root of 1 minus square root of x over 2 squared. Okay? And simplify. Okay. Simplify natin will be 1 over 4 x over 2, 1 half, all over square root of 1 minus x over 2. Okay? Magka-cancel out yung square root. And then, yung denominator natin can be 1 over 4 x over 2, 1 half, divided by 1 minus x over 2, 1 half. And combine natin yung both denominator. So, this will be 1 over 4 x over 2, 1 half, times 1 minus x over 2, 1 half. Okay. Double check nga natin. So, yung original formula natin is may 2 sa unahan, no? May 2 doon. So, dapat dito is may naka-times 2 pa tayo dito. Okay? So, kung may times 2 doon, dapat magbabawasan to. Okay? So this should be 2 na lang to. 2. Okay. Then you can further simplify yung denominator since paras nasa same na one as na root siya. So 1/2 times 1 over same property ng radical sign x over 2 times 1 minus x over 2. Okay. Then nakari sa 1/2. Simplify. We have 1/2 1 over. So yung nasa loob ng square root, this will be x over 2 minus x squared over 4. So is to 1/2. Simplify ulit. So 1/2 1 over. So combine natin. This will be 4. So 2x minus x squared. Okay. Raised to 1/2. Then naka 1/2 yan. Pwede natin ilabas. So 1/2 times 1 over. So yung taas, retain na siya na 2x minus x squared raised to 1/2 all over 4 raised to 1/2 is 2. Okay? Then ito is pwede siya mag-cancel out. So yung final answer natin will be 1 over, balik natin sa radical sign, square root of 2x minus x squared. Okay? So that will be our final answer. Okay? So ang interesting part sa inverse trigonometric functions is yung nagiging final answer natin is in the form of algebraic function. No? Kasi we are following yung formula na given sa kanya na in terms ng algebraic expression na siya. Okay? So, para mas maging knowledgeable kayo regarding the two topics, I suggest you search for examples, no? For more practice. Para mas ma-familiarize kayo dun sa procedure kung paano siya sinosolve. Okay? So, if you have any question, concern regarding this topic before the said quiz next week, please do direct message me on Messenger or simply comment on the video so that I can address it to you anytime. No? Okay? So, this ends our lecture for this session. Thank you.